I have been a nurse for about 11 years, and I have 3 kids, and that is my job now to take care of them full time. So the reason that I contacted your office was because I had a 3-year-old little boy, Joel, who was constantly sick all the time. He was clinically deaf when we went to the ear specialist. The preschool told me that they couldn't help him because he couldn't hear. He was sick all the time on breathing treatments every 4 hours because he couldn't breathe. And we were supposed to be a part of a family wedding, my husband's brother. And we had to skip the wedding because Joel ended up having left lower lobe pneumonia and bilateral ear infection. And when we had to skip a wedding that we were supposed to be a part of, that's when I knew that we needed to make some changes. Well, as a nurse, I kept asking our pediatrician that there was some underlying cause. I have 2 other children and they don't get sick as often, and why is that? Why are they not getting so sick from a cold? Joel would get a cold and then he would have bilateral ear infection and pneumonia, and we were constantly on breathing treatments, steroids, antibiotics, but he wasn't getting better. You're going to the doctor to get your child better, and he's getting worse. Every time he gets a cold, it was worse. He was clinically deaf now. He can't hear. So things were not getting better, and I'm crying out for help, and I'm just told that this is how my child is going to be, and I wasn't accepting that for an answer. I was. As a nurse, you're trained in nursing school that this is not an option. This isn't science-based medicine. It has to be based on science for it to work. So this was kind of laughable that I would bring my child here. People at work kind of made fun of me for it. So for me, what I did is I went to the ear specialist because Joel had to have tubes. He was deaf. He can't continue and go to school being deaf. So we had our appointment with the ear specialist, and we had 7 weeks to wait for our surgery date. So in 7 weeks, I decided that I was going to see Dr. Weaver, that I was going to change our lifestyle. We were no longer going to be on dairy and gluten, and we were going to go all natural. And we were also going to take Joel away from what he was allergic to. I made an appointment with the allergist, and he was allergic to oak pollen, cats, and severe allergy to dogs. So I decided I was going to eliminate the 2 that I could, cats and dogs, and then follow up with our ear specialist for our pre-op appointment. And in that 7 weeks at our pre-op appointment, our surgery was canceled because Joel's hearing had returned 100%. And he said that he could not, in good conscience, put him through surgery because his ears were so healthy and he had his hearing returned. And that was a little light at the end of the tunnel that it was science-based medicine because the ear specialist told me to keep doing what I was doing, which was coming here. Now, he is 6.5 years old, and he's only missed 2 days of school, and he's not on any medication at all. This was supposed to be the worst oak pollen season, and he's not even on Zyrtec or Flonase, and he doesn't have any allergy symptoms. I no longer feel like he is a prisoner to sickness. He was a prisoner to being sick, and he couldn't live a normal life. And now he is top of his class. He's getting ready to be a rising first grader, and we don't even think twice about getting a cold. We just come to Dr. Weaver, and it goes away in about a day or 2, and we have a normal life. We are not scared of sickness because when it sounds silly, but when your child gets a cold and you fear that they're not going to be able to breathe and they're going to have to go to the hospital, you just feel like you don't even want to go around germs, and it makes you a germaphobe, and you kind of become a freak. And now I don't feel that way anymore. Our family our whole lifestyle has changed, and we've been able to do all the things that we want to do, and we don't live in fear anymore. As a mom, I lived in fear that I was going to be on a vacation and Joel wasn't going to be able to breathe, and that I was going to end up in the hospital, and that did happen because, you know, he just wasn't strong enough to fight anything himself. This is what I tell my littles. I explain to them that by eating this, I am giving your body what it needs to fight the bad guys. Little kids are all about superheroes and fighting the bad guys, and our family knows that we don't eat chicken and fries and grilled cheese. You know, I can make it on gluten-free bread, of course, for a treat. So you can change things like getting gluten-free bread and stuff, but they know that they eat this to make their body healthy. And Joel, he won't even come close to any dairy or gluten because he remembers how sick he was, and he remembers the feeling of not breathing, and that's a horrible feeling. And he was happy to change. He's happy to be able to be a little boy and run around and not worry about any of that, so it's worth it. If you just explain it to them that we're a team and I'm trying to help you and give you the tools you need, but what Mommy makes is great. That was what he told me for Mother's Day. I love you because you make me the best food.
Oh.
And is it chicken and fries and grilled cheese? No, but he was willing to try something new, and they love it. The best part of working with Dr. Weaver is that she looks at the person and the family as a whole unit. When you go to your doctor and you say, my child has ear pain, or they're not breathing, and they're not breathing, they don't look at the whole person as a whole. And she also cares for your soul. You know, they just want to clear up the ear pain and clear up the difficulty breathing, and that's that. They don't look at the underlying causes of why are these ears full and continuing to become infected? Why are we unable to breathe? Let's look at the underlying cause, get rid of that, and then you will resolve the ear pain, the deafness, the difficulty breathing. That resolves because you look at the person as a whole, you look at the person being created in the image of God, and that change of perspective makes a huge difference in the person as a whole and in the family. I do recommend your practice. I recommend it all the time. Obviously, our family is well now, and we get to be normal and happy and healthy and get to do all these fun things that we were never able to do with a very, very sick child who was constantly on breathing medicine. And everyone who I've told to come here and has come here, I think, has had the same experience that I've had. You do have to do some lifestyle changes. I think that would be my twofold answer, that it isn't going to be in the form of a pill, which society thinks in our fast food nation that is going to get you better. It's not going to come like that. It's going to come by making a lifestyle change, not just making it for 20 days. I made it for 7 weeks. That was what I said. And then I realized that was ridiculous, and it was going to be our life. This is our new life. So it isn't going to be easy. It's going to be hard. But I would say those two things. When I first started here as a nurse, and I was still practicing as a nurse, they all kind of called it voodoo medicine. And that sort of scares you. But I would tell them that it is not that, and just give it a chance. It's not voodoo medicine. And we all kind of joked about it because I really didn't think it was going to work with Joel. So now I say, they all make fun of me, you and your voodoo medicine, but you know what? It works.